Continuing our conversation on how you can legally, ethically, and creatively be using AI inside of your entrepreneurial journey, I have an idea for you that's going to help analyze the content that you have been creating for social media, finding crossover content, and then giving you ideas for upcoming social posts. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to either make a list of 20 to 30 of your most recent social media posts or 20 to 30 of your top performing posts. Now you can do more than that. The more content you give it, the better it's going to have to analyze content and to give you information back, but no less than 20 posts, because if you have a smaller number, it's going to be really hard for them to find the crossover. So you're going to start off your prompt by saying, please analyze these social media posts and give me a bullet point list or a summary of anything that is a reoccurring topic or something that I am talking about a lot, any crossover elements that I can then use. Once you have that list, then you can either look at it and create your own list of topics that you can use for the next coming month. Now, the goal here is to find things that you frequently talk about. You need that objective eye. You and I are too close to our content to see some of that crossover, but the objective eye of AI or a trusted friend or whatever is really going to help you to find things that connect in ways that we don't see because we're too close to it. Or if you do not want to do it yourself, you can ask your AI to do it for you. You can ask your AI to then go through with the list of things they have created and give you a list of 30 topics based on those topics that you can be talking about in the upcoming month on social media. So you are going to go into your social media, just copy and paste it, put it all in a document and feed that into the AI. It's then going to do its analysis and it's going to give you that list back. You can say summarize. I actually prefer the bullet point list. It's just going to work easier for me, but whatever works best for you. And I want you to go through, and typically I say I like to do it both ways, or I like to recommend to you to do it both ways. So before you ask the AI to do anything with it, just stop, read through the list, and come up with ideas that you're seeing. Now that it's finding those crossover elements or those repetitive conversations, look to see what you've been leaning into or where there's crossover that you didn't see, because sometimes if you're teaching in pillars or you're speaking in the different pillars of content, you can feel like it's over here and not see that crossover. So you're going to go through and that will spark some ideas for you. List as many things as possible. You want to list on your own as much as you possibly can, but now ask your AI to do it. Once you've had the opportunity to do it yourself, you've got a list of content. And now the AI is giving you a secondary list of content. So you can be getting so much content just out of analyzing things that you've already done, things that you've already posted and have resonated with your audience. Now, this goes back to the beginning of the conversation. Do you want your most recent or do you want your highest performing? You can do a lot with this. You can do both of these things. You can figure out what's going to work best for you. I would probably prefer your highest performing content, things that are going to get those engagement pieces from people, but you can also do what's relevant to what you're doing right now. It does take a little bit of legwork to get your top performing content, but that's okay. You can do whatever you need to do. Now, if you have an Excel spreadsheet, you already have that information, or if you've got this in a Google Doc somewhere, otherwise you're going to want to go and do it, or you're going to hire a virtual assistant for an hour or two to go through your content and do it for you, whatever works best for you. And then you're going to have that AI analyze it. From there, you've got a whole playlist of things that you can be talking through on your social media for the next month or the next 2 months or the next whatever. And when you find those crossover pieces of content, the topics and the themes that are reoccurring inside of your content, you're going to be able to heavily lean into it, because that means it's either really important to you or it's really important to your audience. And so you're going to continue to ask questions as you are working with the AI. Just ask more questions, prompt it more ways. I need more bullet points. Can you talk more on this topic? Did I talk more about this topic in some other way? Can you give me more ideas based on this topic? The more questions you ask, the more ideas it's going to feed you. Now remember, AI tends to be bottom of the barrel when it comes to suggestions for topics and things to do. So don't necessarily go through all of those things. You don't necessarily want it to be exactly what the AI has said, because the AI is probably lower than what you want to do for your audience. It is the 101 level as opposed to the upper levels of content. So take that into consideration. It will give you those lower themes, but then you can elevate those. We actually have videos, lots of videos in the series all about how you can take what AI is giving you and elevate it. In fact, I have a full playlist over on my author channel. You guys know I'm a best-selling author in the fiction space. And I have tons of ideas on how they can be using it to help with their marketing, with their writing, all those things without being icky or unethical about it. And we talk about how it gives the bottom of the barrel level ideas and how you can elevate that. So that might actually be a fun playlist for you to then objectively go to look at and see how it implements into the business side of things, because it also works with your sales copy. It works with your social media posts. It works with what you're putting on your website and your blog and on your articles and your YouTube videos and all of those things. So your goal here is to take content you've already created, feed it into AI, have it analyze it specifically for the crossover content and reoccurring themes. Crossover content and reoccurring themes should be major words that you're using in your prompt. Use it over and over again, and it will look for those themes that are going to be relevant, or it's going to find correlations that you wouldn't find. I mentioned that I have that playlist over on the author channel. I actually fed something into it as a prompt, thinking that there was no way that this could actually work inside of a fiction novel. And it changed my mind on something I've been very vocal about for the last couple of years, because it found something that I didn't see. And AI can sometimes do that. So take the content that you're creating, put it into your AI, let it go through it, let it understand what you are working with, and then ask refining questions. We always ask as many clarifying questions as possible, or give it more prompts so that it can give us more feedback and more information. And remember, you don't have to use it all. You can go through and you can pick what works best for you. You can see what's going to work best for your audience. And then you can even use this to poll your audience. We talk a lot about how to use your social media to poll your audience on what you might want to see in your YouTube community, in your Instagram stories, even in your TikTok stories. You can find really valuable feedback without it lasting forever or having to make a higher level, more professional video or piece of content to go out there to have those conversations. The short-lived content is fantastic for getting feedback. And so when you start finding these themes, you can start identifying them in your upcoming content, but then you can ask questions to your audience to see what's most relevant to them. Or maybe you're looking at it from a perspective that isn't relevant to them, but if you change how you're doing that and ask them questions and get some feedback, you can see how that could become more relevant to them to save yourself time, effort, and to resonate better with your audience. Now, we are continuing our conversation on how you can legally, ethically, and creatively be using AI as an entrepreneur to save yourself time and effort and level up everything that you're doing without being icky and gross about it. So drop your questions down below. You know, we've got the full playlist on AI and entrepreneurship, and we've got a really great playlist on the legal side of entrepreneurship with our favorite IP and entertainment lawyer who comes back to talk about the legal side of social media and entrepreneurship and business, but also talks specifically about AI and how we can use that legally and ethically and creatively. So drop questions for us down below. We're going to continue this conversation for you to make sure that this is going to be your most profitable year ever. There are videos every single day here on the channel to help you navigate the world of your social media marketing to save you time and effort, so that you can create luxury time inside of your business and still make your business work for you profitably without having to be hands-on every minute of every day. So get those questions down below, follow along. I'll link the playlist down for you on AI and on the legal side of the industry and on, you know, things like TikTok, and we help you navigate YouTube and Instagram and all those things. So now is the time to drop your questions, daily videos, and if you haven't checked out our community tab yet, make sure you do, because we're answering questions over there and giving you really valuable information that we don't say inside of our videos here. So if you haven't been on the channel, click over to the channel. Make sure you check out the community tab, hit that subscribe and notification bell if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the upcoming episodes.